Hello traders, Gary Wagner here. Just about 9:30 in Honolulu, 3:30 in New York on Monday, the 20th day of October 2014, and this is the daily report for gold and silver. We do have precious metal higher across the board, and we did issue a recommendation, a buy signal yesterday. We'll talk about that in a second. First, the gold currently trading up about $7.80 on the day, 1245.89.95. Call it 1246. The low on the day has been 1235 with a high of 1248. Silver also showing some nice gains, up about 14 cents on the day. 1740 is the current print on the screen. Now it has had a low of 1732, a high of 1752. More on silver in a little bit. So traders, as I watched the market open up overseas yesterday, Sunday in Honolulu, of course, Monday in Australia, and then moving on to Hong Kong, London, I did see the market start to really pick up some steam, especially once it hit London. And the key was the fact that we broke above a recent low, which to me was an area that would be an area we would look for in terms of support. And let me show you what I mean. So to do that, I've gone ahead and pulled up a daily chart. This, of course, is the cash market of gold, XAU. And the key was this. As this marketplace, this was the major rally we had at the beginning of 2014. This is at this point, double bottom, in which we go from 1180 up to about 1391, I believe. We had it meander. And then it did hit this low being at around, call it 1241, 1240, right in this area. And so when the market went back up and then moved through this line to create this triple bottom here, the real key that I was looking for, of course, we got in at 1208. We got stopped out a little bit before our time. In other words, I still think that there's a little bit of upside there. Otherwise, I would not have issued the signal itself. But the key is that as the market began to trade above this low right here, that to me signaled a potential breakout to the upside, because it really told me that we were not finding the former resistance. This was the first resistance point that I was looking at. So when we did move above it, that told me we had an opportunity here to see this market rise higher. So let's talk about our current strategy and various targets that we have. So traders, to really look at our current strategy and the targets that we have, as I said, the key to me was the fact that we broke above this low. This is the low right in here that we're looking at on the short-term 720-minute chart. I believe that our current real resistance right now is sitting roughly at 1252, and so that's the first mark we want to see it make it over. The top of the scale, so to speak, of where I think it could go, the highest I would look for it to go would be about 1290, and I'm really shooting for about 1268, 1270 on this particular trade, because I am still basically under the assumption that we're probably looking at a counter trend that will stall, whether it stalls at 68, as high as 89. I'm not really looking at that right now. And I believe at that point, if we don't start taking out these highs here and here, we're probably going to come back down and at least retest this low at 1180. So I would look for this play to be a little bit shorter. And then, as I said, in terms of the benchmarks we're going to look for, it's going to be 1252, 1268, and then 1289. And traders, so lastly, in terms of resistance, ultimately, this long-standing support line that broke, I believe, could in fact become our resistance area. So wherever this matches up, and it's probably around 65, I would imagine, I would expect it at that point to come back down and maybe test this triple bottom again. And at that point, we'll see. Now, if it breaks above this point, that is really fairly significant, because once we start breaking, or if we start moving above these levels here and here, as I just talked about, we have three tops that are descending. We really need to take those out. That would get me bullish. But for right now, until I see that activity, I've got to call it as the technicals are telling us to. So traders, what about silver? Well, I'm actually starting to feel as though we might be forming a base somewhere at around 1720. Standard candlestick chart. This, of course, is our daily chart. And what I want to do is interesting patterns that were developed in the Japanese average. Let's go ahead and put that up. And as you can see, market comes down, solid red all the way down. We get these green candles, but very, very small body. Not very much strength in there. But look at these last couple of days. We've gotten these very, very small pivotal doji candles. Now, the pivotal doji candles can occur, as you'll see in certain instances, where it's really just consolidating before a continuation of that market moving further down, as in here and here. We could be witnessing that here in silver. But you'll also see it as the market does bottom. So this is a point we'll look to see what happens. But for right now, let's maintain our current long position in gold, maintain our current stop. We're sidelined on silver. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you as always good trading. We will talk to you tomorrow for another daily update and review. Bye-bye.